the other thing, back to your question, is are you sometimes afflicted and it's not even your sin? Yes, yes. Generational curses can happen. So there could be a generational curses are tricky, but there could be something in the family line that needs to be dealt with. And so like you can be under the affliction, you can be afflicted, and you're like, why are we being afflicted? We're not sinning. And it's not even a demon, man. It's a higher order spirit. It's a higher order spirit. It's like a watcher or an authority or something higher. And you're not even supposed to engage those things. You have to deal with that separately. You have to let Jesus deal with that. And so you have to, break that generational oath that is following the family line. Sometimes we experience consequences of things that happened in our past. I mean, just look at African Americans. They're experiencing consequences for great sin in the past, and America is struggling with that today. Well, I mean, look at Second Temple Jews. They were struggling with consequences of their ancestors who were idols, who were idolaters, right? The Jews were idolaters. They got exiled. Daniel wasn't an idolater, but because of what his parents were doing, he suffered the consequences. And even after the exile, those Jews suffered the consequences of their parents' sin. And sometimes, it's like they were trying to live holy lives when they went back to the. I know I'm kind of jumping around in the biblical narrative, so I apologize if you're kind of lost with where I'm at in the story of the Bible. But I mean, Jews in Jesus' time, a lot of them were really trying hard to follow God, but they were still struggling under Rome, and they couldn't figure out what are we doing wrong, and we're trying to worship God. They were doing a lot of things wrong, turns out, but they were still experiencing the consequences of their ancestors' sin. If that makes sense.